everyone, I'm Maggie. I have been a pediatric speech and language pathologist for the past 15 years, and today we're going to talk about why visuals are so important when you're trying to help your child understand and use language. I want you to think for a moment before we get started about what it would be like to walk into a Spanish class where you've never studied Spanish, you've never learned Spanish before, and the teacher is at the front of the room talking. You would have no idea what's going on. You might be able to every now and then pick up a word like hola that you might have heard before, but you're not really sure about it. However, if the teacher came by and gave you a picture of an apple and said manzana, you would then realize, oh, when she says this word, it means apple to me. And then that would make a connection in your brain, the synapses would connect, and you would have learned a new word. We want to do the same thing for our child. If we keep saying this word over and over and they're not able to make that connection, then we need to use a visual or a picture to help support them. The other side of the coin here is that some children are Gestalt language processors, which in a very simplistic way means that they learn language in chunks. So these are your children who before, when I first started working, everyone said it was echolalia or it was just them scripting from a TV show and it didn't have meaning. New research is showing it absolutely has meaning, and it's how they're learning language. They're learning a chunk at a time, and then they're trying it out in different environments to see, does this work here? Does this not work here? So I can do a whole other video on that because it's absolutely super important to help your child, to understand how your child is learning language, and then to be able to help support them. Whether your child is a Gestalt language processor or an analytic processor is what we usually think, we still can use visuals to help them learn the system. And so they're important for everybody. So what that basically means, let's go back to that Spanish class where the teacher showed you apple and showed you a picture of an apple and then said manzana. And I'm sorry if I'm butchering the Spanish. I am terrible at Spanish, but I love the language. But anyway, the more you use that, and then the more you were able to add on words. So now I know manzana rojo. That means red apple. So the more you can build on using that visual, and then if you show me a picture of a green apple and say manzana verde, then I'm learning these new words. I'm learning how to manipulate words into actual language that other people understand. Now, we're going to take it a step further where if your child doesn't have the words yet, if they are not speaking at this time, we're going to just take that visual of them being able to point or to take an item, take a visual. I have a visual of a sensory room here. Take a visual to make requests, to describe, to comment. And this is so powerful because it's teaching them this has power. Then if they're capable and able to learn the words later, that's great. If not, we can use an AAC device. We can find other ways to help them have more expressive language, but visuals are the key to helping them understand. So today I'm going to show you how to make a quick visual board. I have some pictures here from school. I'm making this for a student at school. It's a fish tank in the nurse's office, a fish tank in the basement of our school. This is a picture of some of his favorite foods. We have the bus that he almost always wants to go on. This is a gym. So obviously these pictures would not have meaning for your child. So what you're going to do is you're going to go around your house and take pictures of either things you think your child would want to request, or you're going to take pictures of things that you do every day. So if you are at home with your child and you have to go to the grocery store, showing them a picture of a car and then the grocery store is a great way to prepare them for what they're going to be asked to do. If someone put me in a car and took me to the dentist, I would absolutely not want to go. I would be so angry and so upset. However, if I knew I was going to the dentist and had time to process it, I might handle it a little better. And I'm an adult. So think about a child going somewhere they might not want to go or having to do something they might not want to do. The more time we can give them to understand what's going to happen, the more likely they're going to be able to go through that process with less behaviors. So There are so many ways to use visuals. I'm going to kind of talk about today, like I said, making a request board and making a visual schedule. And those are 2 ways that you could, there's apps now that you can use. I can put them in the comments below. But not parents, I'm trying to use stuff that you would have access to. So if you have a phone, you can take pictures of household items. This is the exact gym that this student is going to have to go to. So this is important. You can use generic pictures. There are great programs out there, but the more realistic, the better it is to help your child make those connections. So take some pictures, print them. I don't have an at-home printer. I do have one at school, so I was able to print these at school. But that's what you're going to have to do on your end. You're going to have to take the pictures and print them. I also laminated mine. You can get a cheap laminator somewhere and some laminating paper. Once again, perk of working in a school. And if your child has a speech language pathologist, you can ask them for help. I have made these for children at home. Usually we start in school, make sure it works, and then I make them using visuals at home. Parents send me pictures, and I'm able to help support them in that way. So you could also talk to your child's speech language pathologist and say, hey, I'm interested in doing this. How would I get started? And they might say, hey, send me some pictures. I'll print them at work, laminate them, and send them home. And that would be great because then it's less work for you as the busy parent to do. So then you're going to want to take some cardboard. This is a old cut up box from some Magnetiles we had, a classroom had gotten. I did use, the cardboard was a little flimsy, so I did glue them together. So it's 2 sides. Magnetiles are amazing if you didn't already know that. But I'm not even going to care what's on this box. It could be an Amazon box. It could be pretty much anything. I'm going to get some trusty duct tape, and I'm going to duct tape this so it's all one solid color and doesn't distract the child. So bear with me while I do this. A little fast forwarding, so this video isn't an hour long, but as you can see, just quick, easy duct tape, nothing pretty, nothing fancy. I did go over it one more layer because you could see the Magnetile description and pictures, and I didn't want the child to think that he was going to be getting Magnetile. So now I have a sturdy board, and now you're going to need some Velcro. So once again, perk of working in the schools is I have access to lots and lots of Velcro, which I love and which you should also begin to love as well. If I was smart, I would have taken this out before the video started, but I didn't, so bear with me. So I have these dots. The dots are the best because you don't have to worry about cutting them. If you've worked with Velcro, you know the scissors get really sticky and it's a pain in the butt. So what you're gonna wanna do is get the dots if you can. If you can't, get a special Velcro scissors and good luck with that. So we have 2 options here. You can do it vertically, or horizontally. So a lot of times I find that vertical works best when you're making a schedule. So you can put dot on, and then we're gonna put the other side back on Velcro. So this student knows we go to the gym in the morning. That's the first thing that we're gonna expect of him. That is what's on his schedule, and then he can pull it off when he's done. Sometimes we put a to-do and a done pile. Sometimes you can have it flip over. This is just super easy, something you could do at home. So if you are making a visual schedule of your nighttime routine, because it's really hard, it takes you 5 hours to get your son to sleep at night and it's just not working, this is a good idea. So this could be something where you have brushed teeth, take a bath, put on your pajamas, lay in your bed, and go to sleep. Obviously, I'm a mom. It doesn't work that easy. I know that. But if we have to teach this isn't something that kids are going to be like, oh, great, this is it, I'll do it. No, kids are still going to say no. They're still going to be mad. But this is prepping them. This is showing them what is expected. And if it is the same every single night, and a lot of times I like to have a place where once it's done, the kid can put it in a container or put it on this side to show that it's done. That way you don't lose these a million times. But kids really like moving them, I have found. I like it. It's like, do you guys write to-do lists? When you get to check that off, that is like, whoo, makes me feel good. So this is the same thing for a child. So, okay, gym is done. Let's put it on our done side, or we'll put it in the bin, and then it's all over for the day. So if after they brush their teeth, after they take a bath, after they put on their pajamas, then it's a picture of the bed. They now have a better understanding of they are expected to get in that bed. Is it going to necessarily mean they're going to go right to sleep for you? Probably not. But the more you use this, don't try it one time and then say, oh, visuals don't work, we're not using them. The more you use them, the more likely that routine will set in for your child and expectations will be known. Now, if your child has no awareness of this right now, that's okay. You can still introduce it and you do it. So, okay, we're gonna brush our teeth, and then you carry your child upstairs, brush your teeth up, brushing teeth is done, and you're moving it. You don't need to make your child do this. It shouldn't be another demand on them. This is to help support them, not make it something else where then they rip them all off and they hate it. You can be in charge of the visual schedule if they do that. I have had kids do that a lot. They also make so many schedules that you can just close them, so kids can't just rip all the icons. If your child is hyperlexic, which means they can read well beyond their age, we have students at school that we just write 1, gym, 2, bathroom, and then that's how they know how their day is structured. These are all gonna work in different ways for your child. This is just one idea. So this is how we can make a visual schedule for this child using the pictures that actually depict their day. I think in here I have a picture of their actual classroom. I could even break this down into the tabletop choices, the play center, and make it super specific if that child needs it. Right now we're just kind of starting something like this because once the gym time is over or the child wants to go to the bus where the buses come all day because he really is struggling to kind of get into the routine of school, we want to show them that bus is coming, but bus is down here. So we're not withholding it. It's not time for a bus. First we have this, this, and this. So you want to think about how to structure that. Another thing we're going to do that these pictures are also for is because when this child has to leave the gym or transition to another activity, we're seeing a lot of behaviors. He gets very upset, falls to the floor, and it's a really hard transition. So we want to help support him where we know this is hard. I don't want to leave the gym. As a child, I love to play in the gym. Why would I want to go back to class and sit and listen to circle time? I get it, but it's also something that we have to do in our day. We can't just let kids run around in a gym for 5 hours. So what this is going to do is it's going to teach him this is what's expected, this is what's coming. Then on the other side, what we're going to do is choices. So if we want him to go to the classroom, but classroom is just not happening because it's too much. It's coming from his favorite thing to his least favorite thing. That's not fair necessarily. We need to get him there. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is we're going to, on this side, and I should do it because I'm supposed to be teaching you how to do it. So I'm going to take another one of my sticky dots. And on the other side, I'm going to put 2 sticky dots here. And now this is where the other choices come in. So we are going to know that we have to get him to the classroom. So the classroom is still going to be a choice. But if he is not ready for that classroom, we're going to put another item on here. So where's that fish tank? So this child is loving fish, all the fish right now. And in the nurse's room, there is a fish tank. So if he is not ready to go to the classroom, we can say, okay, then we're going to go to fish tank, then classroom. We could also present this as choices of, okay, it's time to leave. Gym is done. Where do you want to go next? Fish tank or classroom? And then we're teaching him that he has a choice. He has some power. Are we going to stay in the nurse's office all day? Absolutely not. But we're going to first add the fish tank to give him some power and then go to the classroom. A lot of times transitions are so hard for our students. They don't understand why. They don't understand all these demands we're putting on them. So visuals are a great way to help support them in, I get it, you don't want to go to class, but we're going to kind of work together. We're going to learn to compromise of, okay, fish tank, then classroom. Now, at first, we're still going to get resistance, and I am ready for that. I know it's going to happen, and we're going to always keep the child safe, keep ourselves safe. But then maybe when the fish tank is over, he doesn't want to go back to the classroom, but then I show him this. Oh, in class, we can get a snack. Now, am I bribing? Maybe a little bit. But I also want to show him that the classroom is where he has snack. It's where he's going to eat. It's not always you have to sit in circle or something like that. So if then next time he picks, so okay, fish tank is over, classroom or eat, guess what? When he picks eat, he knows he eats in the classroom. So I'm still getting, can you see this? I'm still getting him to where he needs to be. Do we have to give him a couple veggie straws and stuff just to get him safely there? Maybe, but we're gonna fade those. We're not gonna always use food as a reinforcer or something else. There's also this bike, I'll cover up his picture, but there's this bike that he loves that the physical therapists have. So maybe instead of just maybe the food, I'll say, okay, let's go get the bike and we'll take the bike back to class. So it's still getting to our destination, but it's giving him some sort of control, because a lot of times I think we see these behaviors because kids are just feeling out of control. They are going into fight or flight mode without realizing that we're trying to do the safest and best thing for them. They're children. They're still learning. So this is my, it's not the final product, but I'm not going to make you watch me put dots all over this. But this is a great way at home that if you're really struggling with a transition, if you're really struggling with getting your child to understand or do routines, to just even make simple choices, this is a great way. With this student, with the fish tank, he might not rip off fish tank, but if I see him really looking at this picture, I will rip it off for him and say, oh, should we go see the fish? Let's go see the fish. We're gonna add the word, we're gonna add the language that we need to support him while also giving him that visual. I really hope this helps. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. You got this.